Last month, a section of the Silkyara Bend barcode tunnel caved in while under construction, trapping 41 workers. Alak, an indigenously developed drone, flew through the debris to bring visuals of the confined space that no person could enter. Alak's eyes brought in the vital first information required to plan the 17-day rescue mission that saved 41 lives. Alak is a product of Endure Air, an IIT Kanpur incubated startup that designs and manufactures unmanned aerial vehicles or UAVs. Based out of Noida, the company's drones have also helped the Indian Army conduct aerial surveys during the Chamoli disaster. Registered in 2018, the Noida-based company is now working towards developing a drone that can carry up to 20 kilograms and deliver them to high-altitude army posts.
We have been at IIT Kanpur, incubated at IIT Kanpur, we have been doing research in this domain for quite some time. And we have built some unique products ranging from tiny 250-gram nano drones to heavy lift drones which can lift almost 20 to 30 kilograms of payload at high altitude areas. Some of our nano drones were put to good use during the Chamoli cloudburst scenario where they were used to scout for survivors and also to do the damage assessment of the hydel power plant. Recently, during the event of workers getting trapped in a tunnel, our drone was used to do a recce inside the tunnel to see if there were any openings available for the rescuer or the rescuing team to get access to the survivors. Apart from that, we have built long endurance and long range drone solutions which we are about to supply to Indian Army. So we have drones which can fly for 3 hours and cover a range of 50 kilometers in that process. Apart from that, the latest product which we are working on is actually a high altitude load carrying drone to meet the requirement of logistics in high altitude mountainous areas such as at the heights of around 16,000 to 18,000 feet.
According to Abhishek, most drone manufacturers in India are just integrators who put together imported parts. That is where Reflex Drive comes in.
In the recent years, in India we have like more than 1,000 drone companies, and most of them are using imported parts from them. And what we want is the indigenous solution for our defense, for our agriculture, and for the surveillance. So for that mission we have started, and in our first product portfolio we have this electronic speed controller. It's a 13 kg motor electronic speed controller, designed, manufactured, R&D, everything here. And this electronic speed controller you can use in defense, you can use in agriculture drones also, and you can use in surveillance also. And for now, the manufacturer need to do 3-month, 4-month waiting to get this imported part. But now it's at your door. Within a week you can get it your facility. Next, we have did an innovation. We have designed the India's, or what can I say, the world's smallest ESC, which can give you a 40 amp current and give a motor thrust of 5 kg. So this is the smallest ESC we have designed, and surveillance drone people and manufacturers are loving these ESCs. They have the orders, we have the pre-orders also.
Endure Air and Reflex Drive are among over 300 startups that have been incubated at IIT Kanpur's Startup Incubation and Innovation Center. The SIIC was initially set up in the year 2000 with the idea to support innovators and research-based businesses. One of the most talked about success stories from SIIC is IIT Kanpur's ventilator project. In March 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic hit India, a startup from IIT Kanpur was able to develop an indigenously produced ventilator to the market in just 90 days.
So, I was drawn into this incubator space in 2013 because my colleague, Professor Funny, who was running the incubator in those days, he raised a very handsome grant from BIRAC, to set up a bio incubator. And Professor Funny is from the management department, so he needed someone from biology department to set it up. So my department nominated me to do the job, and I set up the bio incubator ecosystem. That itself was challenging because unlike your own research lab where you know the research program for next 15-20 years, you set up the infrastructure accordingly. But when it is an incubator, then the infrastructure should cater to the incubatees, which unfortunately or fortunately will change every few years. Therefore, you cannot set up an infrastructure that will cater to all the startups. The other thing that I tried to do in parallel is to hire, thankfully IIT Kanpur incubator had a very handsome corpus. So from that money, I decided to hire some top-notch professionals, and in no time we had BTechs, MTechs, PhDs from the IITs, NITs and ISIs and all those fantastic places. And the intellectual quotient for the incubator suddenly went up. And that is very, very important if you want to attract high quality startups.
Phool's journey began on a cold winter morning of 2015 Makar Sankranti when Ankit Agarwal, founder and CEO of Phool, took a friend visiting from the Czech Republic to the Ghats of Ganga. His friend's questions about why so much waste gets dumped into the holy waters got Agarwal thinking. Agarwal arrived at a very simple idea: collect the used flowers from temples and turn them into incense sticks, which can once again be used for religious purposes. However, it was not easy to convince the priests, since according to Hindu rituals, flowers offered by devotees have to be submerged in holy waters. Agarwal then employed women from families of manual scavengers, offering them facilities like clean water and toilets along with a steady employment of dignity. Today, hundreds of women in UP's villages are hand-rolling agarbattis made from used flowers. One of Phool's investors include Alia Bhatt. But Phool's journey in innovative solutions for organic waste is far from over.
So the new product that we are currently working on is called as Fleather. I think the name itself can suggest a little bit. It's flower-based leather. So you can say it's an alternative material. It's a fully sustainable and biodegradable alternative material that can give you all the properties of leather, but it has got no roots in animal derived hides, and it does not involve any harmful or hazardous chemical processing that happens over there in the tanning process of leather. It's a very fast process that basically the time taken in animal husbandry and the later processing of leather is not involved here. It's just a 2 or maximum 3 weeks process from a very scratch zero to the final products. So that's one of the USP. We are able to manufacture it in a very competitive pricing. And so here you can actually see a sample as well. So this fully looks like leather. It will give you all the properties of leather, all the aesthetics, and none of its vices. So it's actually a biological process. In layman's terms, you can say the flowers are used in nutrition, and a microbial species is grown onto those flowers. It serves as a binder. And as an end result of this growth process, a somewhat fermentation process, it gives rise to this product.
Right. So apart from this, you have something else also in your pipeline, which is a foam, a substitute for thermocol, basically. So can you show us this product and tell us more about it?
It's called as Flora Foam. Again, a foam made from flowers. So it's basically an alternative to styrofoam, or in a regular terminology what we call as thermocol, which is again one of the biggest pollutants that is present on the surface of earth, it does not degrade. It has to go into landfill or it has to be burned, and that adds to a lot of pollution. So that is where we decided that if we can come up with this. So it was actually a very serendipity kind of a thing. Like we started working on flowers, started making the incense sticks, cones, holy colors, those simple products to start with in the initially. When we had unused flower pile in our factory and we saw a white clump kind of a thing, we were intrigued what it was, and we understood like some kind of biological species was trying to grow, seeking nutrition from the flowers, and that pulp kind of thing had a cushiony and leathery structure. So that's where these two paths emerged from us. So the technologically these two paths are comparatively similar, like a similar kind of biological species is being grown or used to grow on the flowers. There are some minor tweak and turns which allow us to like take the same path in two different directions. One which you can take to the packaging alternative kind of products, and another you can make the leather like product from it. So for here also, for this product also, we are doing some pilots with OEMs to test if the alternative to the styrofoam thing. Right now they are using styrofoam. So if this product they use for packaging, whether it is providing them the required cushioning, required protective ability for their product, those pilots are ongoing.
In the same lab that was once used by Pool, another startup, Novo Earth, is now brewing, where once researchers figured out the successful formula that turned waste flowers into incense sticks, Sarthak Gupta is trying to find a solution for phasing out single-use plastics.
So these are waste chicken feathers. This is the starting of a process. We dissolve them in a solution. Right now it's not dissolved. It will take approximately 6 hours to get dissolved. We agitate. We give certain agitation and temperature to this, and then the feather breaks down. Once that is done, we get a clear solution like this. This is dissolved keratin in the solution. Now the second step is extraction of keratin powder. The extracted keratin powders look something like this. These are samples of extracted keratin powders. So we are working right now to increase the yield of the product, and once that is done, we go for the polymerization step. Polymerized keratin looks something like this. So if you look at it closely, you'll see that it looks like plastic. So this is the polymerized keratin. Now here the lab work is done. Once that is done, we give this polymerized keratin to probably to our partners and manufacturers, and then they can convert them into these bowls which are there. And we also have certain samples where we have manufactured film out of it. This film, you can see it's a very sturdy film, and it's made out of keratin polymer. So we have a roll of it, and different type of articles can be made. So one of the primary application that we are targeting from keratin polymer is manufacturing of mulch films. So that is being used in the horticulture department. And apart from that, we are also targeting sapling bags and coffee lids. So if you see these compostable cups, cutlery which is there in the market, which is these paper cups and all, so 99% of that is cellulose, but 1% of that is polymer lining. These polymer lining are one of the major reasons for microplastic pollution. Now we are trying to replace this paper coating and paper lining with our polymer, so that the whole article is now 100% compostable.
For Santosh Kumar, founder of Pacing Grass, the goal is the same but with different means. Kumar has converted bamboo fibers into plastic-like composite that can be used to create microwave-friendly utensils, industrial machine parts, crates, and much more.
This material which we have developed for the natural, we have developed for the general purpose application, and it is injection molding compatible. So we can make any product which can be manufactured through the injection molding. So it will be a good replacement for the plastic. We have for the prototype we have developed this coaster which is made with the bamboo and the rice husk composite. You can see this.
Akshay Srivastav hails from the family of farmers in Gorakhpur. While studying engineering, he realized that the chemical fertilizer industry requires serious intervention.
LCB फर्टिलाइज़र एक एग्रीटेक स्टार्टअप है जो अलग अलग क्रॉप के लिए अलग अलग कस्टमाइज्ड बायो फर्टिलाइज़र डेवलप करता है। हमने 2019 से काम बेसिक इनिशिएट किया था और हम वही फार्मर फैमिली से बिलोंग करते हैं। आप उससे रिलेट कर सकते हो कि जिनके आगे का त्यौहार कैसा बीतता है वो उसके खेत में हो रहे फसल पे निर्भर करता है। उसके बच्चे पढ़ने जाएंगे या नहीं जाएंगे, कितना पढ़ेंगे, ट्यूशन करेंगे कि नहीं करेंगे, खेत में हो रहे फसल डिसाइड करती है। वहाँ से उठ के हमने अपना मैं इंजीनियरिंग ज्वाइन किया। वहाँ पे आइडिया लगा कि केमिकल फर्टिलाइज़र मार्केट में है, बायो फर्टिलाइज़र मार्केट में है, बट चल नहीं पा रहा बायो फर्टिलाइज़र। क्यों नहीं चल पा रहा है, उस पर बहुत रिसर्च, अलग अलग कॉलेजेस में इंटर्नशिप करना, अलग अलग इंडस्ट्रीज़ में विज़िट करने से आइडिया लगा कि इफ़िशियंसी कम है और कई अभी बहुत इनोवेशन की रिक्वायरमेंट है। तो हम उसमें लग गए और कस्टमाइज बायो फर्टिलाइजर ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ बायोटेक्नोलॉजी, नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी और केमिकल इंजीनियरिंग से हमने डेवलप किया।
At the beginning of the journey, LCB started with the team isolating microbes from areas that had not been treated with chemical fertilizers. They worked with microbial combinations for 3 years to develop fertilizers that were customized to a crop's need.
दिसंबर 2020 की बात है। हमारे पास 40 केजी का पहला ऑर्डर आया था। हमारे पास देने के लिए 40-45 केजी ही मटेरियल था। वो कन्नौज का था, प्रभात श्रीवास्तव जी का। हमने वहाँ पे मटेरियल भेजने के लिए हमारे पास 3 बजे ऑर्डर आया। 4:30 बजे हमने पटरौना बस स्टैंड पे रखा। वहाँ से 8 बजे दूसरे बंदे ने गोरखपुर बस स्टैंड से ट्रांसफ़र किया लखनऊ के लिए। 4 बजे सुबह में लखनऊ से हमने कन्नौज के लिए ट्रांसफ़र किया और सुबह 8 बजे कस्टमर के पास भेजा। ये हमने कस्टमर कनेक्ट, मार्केट कनेक्ट और जो कस्टमर डिमांड करते हैं उनको फुलफ़िल करने के लिए ये हमारे टीम का कम्प्लीटली एफर्ट आज भी इसी तरीके से चलता है। हम करेंटली अभी IIT कानपुर के पार्ट हैं जहाँ पे हमने मल्टीपल रिसर्च, मल्टीपल टेक्नोलॉजीज़ पे काम किया, नैनो पार्टिकल डेवलप किया, पॉलीमर डेवलप किया, नैनो कोटेड सीड डेवलप किया। इसके लिए हमें अलग अलग तरह का सपोर्ट मिला। नॉट ओनली फाइनेंशियल, हमें बिजनेस कनेक्ट्स बहुत मिले। हमारी टेस्टिंग के लिए, वेरिफिकेशन के लिए हमें लीड्स मिले। हमारी टेस्टिंग कंडक्ट कराई गई, हमें सर्टिफिकेशंस कराए गए और अभी हम करीब 6 फैक्ट्री से 1000 टन से ज़्यादा मैन्युफैक्चर करते हैं और करीब 19 राज्यों में सप्लाई करते हैं।
Among walls lined with giant screens, the C3I hub at IIT Kanpur is nurturing research that involves understanding cryptocurrency transaction trails to securing the operation of industrial plants that could spell disaster if hacked. Dipesh Chaudhary, founder and CEO of Blockstash, is working on developing an analytic tool for investigating and monitoring illicit activities related to cryptocurrencies.
So the need of this tool is that first we realized that despite being regulatory frameworks in India, there is a lot of crypto crimes going on, and because of that India loses over 1,000 crore annually. And on investigating these different cryptocurrencies, India is spending a lot of money on these investigations. So here we come into the picture and we are making Make in India tool where our law enforcement agencies can utilize this tool and do investigation on crypto crimes.
Currently, all investigations stop if fraud happens at the cryptocurrencies. This is because most investigative agencies are not trained to deal with cryptocurrencies. Many do not even understand the concept. Blockstash is working with West Bengal and Odisha police to solve such crimes.
We realized that there is no such indigenous tool available in the market, and because of that all our sensitive investigation information is being shared with different countries, and it is really important to save our sensitive information. So we start building that tool, and currently we are helping different law enforcement agencies and helping them to solve these crypto crimes.
Adarsh Khan's cyber era is also looking to secure the cyberspace, but with a different approach. Cyber era provides a platform for an army of independent ethical hackers. Any company that wants their digital assets to be watched or monitored can sign up for this platform.
And we have a pool of more than 5,000 ethical hackers and security researchers who come into the picture, who test the security vulnerabilities and report those vulnerabilities to the companies in an ethical approach.
There was a need to develop a portable X-ray imaging system that can be taken anywhere because there is a national TB elimination program going on in India, and the government needs to screen the entire population to see if to isolate the TB patients. So that's why this project was floated, and now we have the prototype ready for that device. This is the generator. It can be used to generate X-ray images for chest, and it can be used to detect TB in the chest of the patients.
About 4 kilometers away from Kanpur's industrial area, Panki, lies a neighborhood just off the Kanpur road, composed mostly of unplastered brick houses. The homes of Katiyars stand taller than most. Unlike most rooftops that have lines of clothes put out for drying, the Katiyar's roof boasts of a solar panel. But this is no ordinary set of solar panels. Designed by another IIT incubated startup, SunSync Technologies, the solar panels are programmed to automatically orient themselves such that they always face the sun, maximizing their power generation potential. Supported by an algorithm that calculates the sun's position in the sky according to the GPS location of the panels, the solar panels behave just like sunflowers.
Real boost actually happened, unfortunately for the country, but fortunately for the incubator, is during COVID time, that our incubator delivered so many products one after the other that we became very prominent, and suddenly the number of applicants to the incubator went through the roof, and we became extremely selective. And then it becomes an iterative process, because when you are selective, your quality of startups go up.
Not only is IIT Kanpur's initiative as an incubator helping these founders set up their business, but it is also helping Kanpur become this new hub of startups where people can come and collaborate with IIT Kanpur for their technical know-how, as well as industry connect and raising funds for their startups. This is Mohana Basu, Senior Assistant Editor at ThePrint, reporting from IIT Kanpur. If you like our work, do consider paying for a subscription to ThePrint. You can do so through the link in the description box below.